Yeah, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. And today I'm going to talk to you about Bluebird Bio because the share price has been tanking since morning and it's an anticlimax from yesterday. Yesterday, it was a clear-cut story that we had approval for Zynteglo, that is Beticel for Bluebird from FDA, and therefore the share prices went up. And even today, this morning, pre-market, the share prices were up 10%. I have seen it with my own eyes, so I can't believe that it has dropped so sharply. This video is meant to address those issues, and I'll share with you what I think is at play here. So let's get started. Who doesn't like to watch a thriller? I find myself going through Netflix and other sources to look at really good thrillers which are at the cutting edge and which keeps you at the edge of your seat until everything resolves miraculously in the last 5 minutes of the story. And when it comes to Bluebird Bio, I think I get a similar feeling. So that's why I'm all that more engaged with Bluebird. The story of Bluebird reads like a cliffhanger. At the Q2 earnings, we got insight into their cash position. The company's restricted cash, and cash equivalent and marketable securities balance all put together was approximately $218 million. This included restricted cash, which was worth around $45 million as of June 30, 2022. The full year 2022 cash burn was expected to be slightly less than $340 million. So it was a very touch and go kind of a situation for Bluebird when they went in for approval of Beticel and Elicel. And the first relief we got was when the external advisory group met and they looked at Beticel very favorably. They had a few adverse observations about Elicel, but overall everything went off well. And at that time we saw a bit of a pop in the share prices for Bluebird, and then it again subsided because people lose memory and they just go on to the next shiny object. But around that time, I bought Bluebird shares, and I kept it in mind that the deadline for approval of Beticel, that is Zynteglo, was mid-August, and for the approval of Elicel is mid-September. The outside panel of experts were very positive on Beticel with slight reservation on Elicel. Nevertheless, both were recommended for approval. The FDA track record is close to 93% approval following positive recommendation by external panel of experts. So in other words, mostly 93% of the positive approvals by external group of advisors converts into FDA approval, with only 17% going the other way. So I think there's a very, very good chance that even Elicel may come out with an approval in September. But before we get too giddy, we have to remember a few issues that Bluebird will have. And Bluebird has to handle those issues. And the issues are that the cash position is very low, and with costs of commercialization ramping up, they will need to prioritize their cash spend and also look at raising fresh cash. If Elicel is also approved, they will have to spend on commercialization of Elicel as well, and hopefully they have some shareable components in the commercialization of Zynteglo that can be shared with Elicel so that the cost is not duplicated, and that will save them good amount of cash. Also, we have to remember Bluebird is commercializing for the first time, so there's going to be a steep learning curve for them. And finally, looking at the cost, Bluebird pegs the one-time cure at $280K. We should remember that initially in April 2021, Bluebird withdrew Zynteglo from Europe after pricing it for 1.8 million, and European authorities called it too expensive. And the response from Bluebird was to just pull it off the European markets and go back to the drawing board. So at this point of time, having priced it at $280K, I think it's going to be very reasonable for a once and done cure for beta thalassemia. But at the same time, one would definitely wonder whether the initial cost estimate of 1.8 million for once and done in April 2021 was an arbitrary number. I believe it's not. I think Bluebird Bio definitely did their mathematics to come up with the number of 1.8 million in order to at least break even. So having said that, now the same therapy going for 280K a pop seems to me like heavy subsidization. So this could mean that the whole estimate that we had at the end of Q2, that the cash runway will last maybe another 3 or 4 months. That has to be turned around its head, and I think Bluebird needs cash right now. So that's one of the thoughts that I think investors will have in their mind. Funding needs will have to be fulfilled in short order, as it raises several possibilities. The first way of raising fund for Bluebird would be by selling part of right or royalty for Zynteglo, or getting into a marketing collaboration with a company that already has a commercialized setup, which can easily take Zynteglo and distribute it with a low overhead. So maybe give them a marketing commission and use them to sell Zynteglo. So that's one option. The second is funding by selling additional equity shares. This means equity dilution. And the third possibility is a big pharma taking over Bluebird Bio at a very attractive rate. Fortunately, in all the situations, I think shareholders will continue to benefit in varying degrees. Let us check the TradingView platform and look at the price history of Bluebird Bio. But before we go there, I want to come out with a very important concept, which I try to explain to many people whom I meet face to face, who ask me about what do you think about this share or that share. So one of the main concepts I want all of our viewers to keep in mind is that do not invest based on what somebody else is saying. You have to do your own analysis. You have to understand the company that you're investing in, what is the kind of business they are in, and what are the pros and cons, and then make a decision so that you can see the moving parts as the time goes by, and then decide when to sell and when to buy. However, if you just blindly listen to somebody saying, buy Bluebird now, then you're going to be in for a lot of surprises. And ultimately, Bluebird may still make money, but you'll be going through a lot of agony. You may miss some opportunities by selling ahead of schedule. I suspect many people have probably stumbled into Bluebird because it was moving very fast. They bought into it, and now a whole lot of people are selling that. And that's also another factor that could probably be in play. So now let's go to the TradingView platform and check what's happening out there with regard to Bluebird. Now here we are in TradingView platform. This is the chart of Bluebird. Each of these candles is a 1 hour candle. This big green candle out here is the candle for today. And as you can see, we started off very high, very close to the 200-day exponential moving average. And then we dropped down. We broke through the 50-day exponential moving average and 20-day exponential moving average and touched this diagonal line of support, which was earlier resistance for the bullish pennant that we had. And therefore we bounced back from there. And right now the 50-day and the 20-day exponential moving average are providing a support, and we have converted multiple support lines into resistance, which I'm currently changing into resistance out here. As you can see, 2 lines of support, and the 9-day exponential moving average has also become a resistance for us. And as you can see, the MACD is tending towards the signal line in a bearish manner, even though it is bullish right now. And momentum is dropping sharply while it is still above average. And we have dropped 15.41% today. And if I was to go into a 1-day time frame, you can see that we are starting to pick back up again. There has been an overreaction, and people in the know would be buying at this point of time to get a little bit more of Bluebird into their hands. And let me go back to the 1-year time frame and show you a few things. Now, in 2018, around this time, this is around 9th of March 2018, Bluebird saw the highest share price. It was the highest price ever for Bluebird. And if I was to measure from there to 5.74, which is the current price, we see that we have dropped around more than 95% since the peak. And all of us know for sure that on 21st of March 2018, Zynteglo was not there, and we didn't have FDA approval for any therapies. And today, at this point of time, we have one approved therapy, which is first off the block among all the genomics companies to address beta thalassemia with a once and done cure. So this is historic, my friends, and this cannot be taken lightly. And we also have Eli-Cell in the cusp of being approved in September. So I'm pretty sure that this knee-jerk reaction that we are seeing here is coming out of the fear that Bluebird doesn't have enough money. And in the process of raising money to commercialize both these products, they may have to compromise somewhere, and it's a tight monetary environment. So that's why I think there is a little bit of a fear out here. And as I can see, the volumes are also pretty high. The volumes are high when it went up, and the volumes are slightly lesser than that, but still very high when it has come down. So unless it is some day traders who are making some money out here, I think that we should be bouncing back up again, and that can be seen in the one-day charts because we are trying to consolidate somewhere out here, and hopefully we will see. We have seen that the MACD has crossed over to the bullish side, and also the momentum is trying to pick up. So this will be the ideal time to pick up a few more of Bluebird to dollar cost average and wait for the big rewards. That's my opinion. And if I was to go and look at the entire market as such, you would see that QQQ is marginally recovering right now, and earlier in the day it was down. SPY is also trying to come out of the funk. IWM is also trying to come out of the funk. Dow Jones is also trying to come out of the funk. And when you see the VIX is going down. So overall, I think that we are moving in the right direction at this point of time. I still am confident about the story of Bluebird, and I wouldn't hesitate to invest a little more today. These are my personal opinions, of course, not financial advice, but I thought that I would like to share my understanding of Bluebird and my concerns about how it's going to handle the approval and the expenses that are going to come up due to commercialization. But we should also remember they have got a few candidates in the pipeline, which also needs to be progressed. So keeping all those things in mind, I think there is a bit of confusion among the investor community, but I am firmly in the bull camp when it comes to Bluebird, at least at this point of time, unless I hear any concrete reason why the share price have fallen. At this point of time, I can't find any other than the ones that I discussed with you. I would like to hear from you guys about what are your thoughts about Bluebird. Please put it in the comment below so that we can share our understanding of what's happening with Bluebird and have a dialogue out there. And if you like this video, I'd like you to put a thumbs up out there so that YouTube can show this video to others and expose our channel to a wider audience. And also, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe for everything related to genomics and some thought-provoking videos. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.